Where do you go to get listings? My name's Mark Burgess. I'm the CEO of Iceberg Digital, and I've written a couple of best-selling books around marketing, so I'm hoping I can give you some insight on this. If you have a think about all of the potential listings that you've ever come across through all of the marketing that you've ever done, there's probably thousands of people that you could potentially speak to. If you think about it for a minute, you've probably sent out leaflets in the past to people that inquired and it never went anywhere. You've sent out letters, the same sort of thing happened. You've probably ran some sort of online ads on Google or Facebook that have drawn in instant valuations that never turned into actual listings. Even people that you've been out to see, old market appraisals that never actually went anywhere. All of that information is sitting somewhere, but it doesn't really count as anything in a estate agency, because we see someone putting their house on the market as the beginning of the journey. All of that other stuff that you've done is kind of in an archive somewhere, not really doing anything. But here's the interesting thing. Back in about 2015, Google did a big study called the Zero Moment of Truth. And in the Zero Moment of Truth, they found that actually, to make somebody like your product or buy your service, it requires something called 7-11-4. You have to spend 7 hours with somebody, have 11 touch points, and meet them in 4 different locations. And if you can do that, part of the brain opens up, called the hippocampus, and you move over into the known, like, trusted side of the brain. So all of those thousands of people's details you've got somewhere sitting doing nothing that you've kind of forgotten about, you should be 7-11-4 in those people. How do you do that? You do it through useful content. So you make sure that you're always putting something useful out there, not necessarily about if you want to put your house on the market today, but just something useful around the property industry or the local area, the 2 things that you're an expert on, that's just generally staying in touch with these people, having more touch points, allowing them to spend more time with your brand. If you think about celebrities or even someone like the Queen who passed away recently, you actually feel some connection to these people that you've never ever met. In the Queen's case, there was an outpouring of people being upset and really struggling to deal with the death of this person that they'd never met. But they've spent lots of time with her digitally, over the television, over the radio before television, over the internet. All of these different touch points that they've had with somebody has moved that person over into this know, like, trust side of the brain. And you can do the same thing with your brand. You should be doing it 24/7, 365. Someone putting their house on the market isn't the beginning of the journey. The beginning of the journey is getting their details into a system so that you can continually be staying in touch with these people without doing anything at all, except for making some good content. The content will go out to these people, they'll read it, they'll watch it, whatever kind of content you decide to do, they'll interact with it. Over time, you build more trust. You know it works from the things that you look at on the internet and then go ahead and buy. You spend a certain amount of time doing research, reading reviews, watching videos, and eventually you get to that point where you've convinced yourself that this looks like a good product or service. So if you haven't got that part of your business and you sit there thinking, where are we going to go to get listings? There's a fundamental problem, because you should have a pot of gold that's constantly sitting there, and the software is constantly bubbling to the top the people that are most active, the people that are looking more regularly at content, the people that have been looking today. So imagine going into work today and just having a ready-made list from all those thousands of people that you've interacted with in the past that says, hey, these 10 were just on your website or just on your Facebook reading what to do if you're thinking about selling. How much easier would that make your life? You can put a call into those people and you'll probably get through and you'll probably get some listings. So you should always have a pipeline of upcoming business being nurtured, working away, that happens automatically without you doing anything.